Hello, welcome. Today we will discuss the chapter 4 of Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar. Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar is the syllabus for the life story of a scientist that we have for BPM in 24-25. The chapter deals with the father of research laboratories developing industrial research in India. There is nothing attainable to the one who has courage and who works hard. Jawaharlal Nehru has stated, I can truly say that but for Dr. Bhatnagar, you could not have seen today the chain of national laboratories. Constitution of the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, CSIR. Dr. Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar played a significant role in the building of post-independent science and technology infrastructure and in formulation of India's science and technology policies. He was the founder director and later the first Director General of Council of Scientific and Industrial Research CSIR. He is credited with establishing a chain of national laboratories in the country. In the 1930s, there were no research labs for the development of India's natural resources and industry. Just before the outbreak of the Second World War, the government of India established the Board of Scientific and Industrial Research BSIR with the efforts of Sir Ramaswamy Mudaliar, Commerce member in Viceroy Committee. Dr. Bhatnagar, who by then had made remarkable contributions to chemistry, was called on to take charge. In December 1939, Dr. Bhatnagar was appointed as an advisor of scientific and industrial research to the Government of India. Thus began his 15-year-long association with CSIR, which was established on 26 September 1942. In 1940, Sir Mudaliar became BSIR's first chairman and Dr. Bhatnagar was appointed as the director of scientific and industrial research. Though earlier he had declined tempting offers of post in industrial research, he took this up as national service. He took this opportunity to help in building up India's scientific research and train and inspire young scientists to take up research as a career. He dreamt of a chain of national laboratories, of large teams of scientists working for the development of India, and the creation of scientific outlook on life among the masses. By the end of 1940, about 80 researchers were engaged under BSIR. Within 2 years of its establishment, the BSIR was able to work on a number of processes at the laboratory level for industrial utilization. Those included techniques for purification of Balochistan, sulfur, anti-gas, cloth manufacture, the development of vegetable oil blends as fuel and lubricants, the invention of pyrethrum emulsifier and cream, the development of plastic packing cases for army boots and ammunition, dyes for uniforms, and preparation of vitamins. The efforts of Sir Mudaliar and Dr. Bhatnagar led to the constitution of CSIR as an autonomous body to administer the research fund created by the government. In early 1941, Dr. Bhatnagar persuaded the government to set up an industrial research utilization committee for translating results into applications. The government agreed to make a separate fund out of the royalties received from the industry for further investment into industrial research. An industrial research fund was constituted for the purpose of fostering industrial development in the country. The CSIR came into operation on 26 September 1942. The BSIR and IRUC were designated as advisory bodies to governing body of CSIR. In 1943, the governing body of CSIR approved the proposal of Dr. Bhatnagar to establish 5 national laboratories. These included National Chemical Laboratory, NCL, NPL, National Physical Laboratory, National Metallurgical Laboratory NML, Central Fuel Research Institute CFI, and Center Grass and Silicate Research Institute CGSRI. In 1944, in addition to its annual budget of rupees 1 million, the CSIR received a grant of rupees 10 million for the establishment of these laboratories. The Tata Industrial House donated rupees 2 million for the chemical, metallurgical, and fuel research laboratories. The father of research laboratories, developing industrial research in India. India's flagship science institution, the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research CSIR, was thus established with Dr. S. Bhatnagar at the helm of its affairs. Dr. Bhatnagar wanted to extend the scope of CSIR by establishing a chain of national laboratories in country under its command. Torchbearer institutes of scientific and industrial research in pre-independence era. During 1945 to 1947, India witnessed 2 important sides. One was fanatic religious violent riots, bloodsheds, dead corpses on streets, and quest of partition. This was darkest side of India's history. The brighter side was seeds of science and technology research sown by Dr. Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar had started taking shape. This period was seen the commencement of chain of national research laboratories and institutions that became at par with other labs in the world. The 5 torchbearers institutions of scientific and industrial research started their journey during this period, just before independence. December 1945, Central Grass and Ceramic Research Institute, Calcutta. The foundational stone was laid by Dr. Ardeshir Dalai, then member of Planning and Development in the Government of India. 17 November 1946, Central Fuel Research Institute, Dhanbad. The stone laying ceremony was performed by the Honorable C.H. Bhabha, Minister of Works, Mines and Powers. 21st November 1946, National Metallurgical Laboratory, Jamshedpur, for which Honorable C. Rajgopalachari, Minister Education and Arts, laid the foundation stone. 4th January 1947, National Physical Laboratory, New Delhi. The foundation stone was well laid by Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. 6th April 1947, National Chemical Laboratory, Pune. The foundation stone was laid by Honorable B.G. Kher, Prime Minister of Bombay. After India's independence, the CSIR was placed under Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru himself, who was equally enthusiastic about the development of science in the country. By the end of 1954, 12 national laboratories were established and a dozen more were at planning stage. During Dr. Bhatnagar's lifetime, 14 national laboratories were operational, acquired, or had their foundation stone laid. They were National Chemical Laboratory NCL Pune, National Physical Laboratory NPL Delhi, National Fuel Research Institute CFRI Dhanbad, National Glass and Ceramic Research Institute CGCRI Kolkata, Central Food Technological Research Institute CFTRI, National Metallurgical Laboratory NML Jamshedpur, Central Drug Research Institute CDRI Lucknow, Central Road Research Institute CRRI Roorkee, Central Electrochemical Research Institute CRI Karaikudi, Central Leather Research Institute CLRI Chennai, Central Building Research Institute CBRI New Delhi, Central Salt Research Institute CSRI Bhavnagar, Central Electronic Engineering Research Institute CERI Pilani, National Botanical Research Institute NBRI Lucknow. The first 11 laboratories above are often called Bhatnagar 11. These laboratories were operational by 1951. The first Director General of CSIR, Dr. Bhatnagar, is revered as the father of research laboratories in India. At the end, important positions held. Dr. Bhatnagar's interest in science and its practical utilization was very wide, and he did a great deal of pioneering work, especially on organizational side. He concurrently held a number of important positions in the government. He was first chairman of University Grants Commission UGC, contribution to industrial research in India. Very few scientists have contributed to both science and nation building like Dr. Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar. He was truly in a class of his own. In 1940, the Board of Scientific and Industrial Research (BSIR) was formed by the Government of India and Dr. Bhatnagar was appointed the director. In 1942, CSIR was constituted as an autonomous body. In 1943, Dr. Bhatnagar's proposal to establish 5 national laboratories was approved, which included NCL, NPL, NML, CFRI, CGSRI, which was set up to mark the beginning of the scientific laboratories. At CSIR, he also mentored a number of promising young scientists of the time. Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar, along with Homi Jahangir Bhabha, Prashant Chandra Mahalanobis, which is PC Mahalanobis, Bikram Sarabhai, and others, helped in building India's post-independence science and technology infrastructure. He also served as the Secretary of the Ministry of Education and Educational Advisor to the government. He played an instrumental role in the establishment of the National Research Development Corporation, NRDC of India. He was Secretary, the Ministry of Education and Educational Advisor of the government. Dr. Bhatnagar was associated with the development of the Atomic Energy Program of India. In 1945, the Atomic Energy Committee was set up under the aegis of the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research. The committee was chaired by Homi Jahangir Bhabha, and it included Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar, Meghnad Shah, D.N. Wadia, and then Mineral Advisor to central government. The Atomic Energy Commission was established under the chairmanship of Homi Bhabha. Its other members were Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar and K.S. Krishnan. Dr. Bhatnagar was the first secretary through the Ministry of Natural Resource and Scientific Research and also Secretary of Atomic Energy Commission. He played an instrumental role in the establishment of the National Research Development Corporation (NRDC) of India, which was visualized to bridge the gap between the research and development. Dr. Bhatnagar was responsible for initiation of the industrial research movement in the country. The government of India, being persuaded by the efforts made by Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar, set up an industrial research utilization committee for translating science and technology into industrial applications. In 1935, Dr. Bhatnagar and Dr. K. N. Mathur published a comprehensive paper entitled Physical Principles and Applications of Magnetochemistry. This publication is recognized as a standard work of the subject, the first to be written in English. When it appeared, letters of congratulations were received from Professor Donan, Professor Stoner, Lord Rutherford, Mr. P. C. Ray, Sir C. V. Raman, Professor G. N. Lewis, and many others. His research contributions in the areas of magnetochemistry and physical chemistry of emulsion were widely recognized. Fighting against odds, like many other great achievers, Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar had to struggle to realize his goals in life. Having lost his father when he was just 8 months old, Shanti Swarup lived in his maternal grandfather's house till he was 13. After that, he was supported himself. His mother had no inheritance or income of her own for upbringing of her children. He managed to study either by getting scholarship or by working outside school and college hours. By his sheer willpower and hard work, Dr. Bhatnagar was elected a Fellow of the Royal Society of London, the highest honorary that an Indian scientist could aspire to get other than Nobel Prize. Whoever came in contact with him was touched by his intellect, diligence, honesty, and above all, his simplicity. So that's it in chapter 4.